What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about an armed British police officer confronting some American tourists. So, this is a video I want to take a look at for two reasons. One is that it clearly has to do with some of my fellow Americans in the UK, looks like in London, being completely disrespectful and getting called out on it, which honestly is something I really want to see. And another reason I want to take a look at this is because of the word armed in this video title. This is an armed British police officer, which kind of surprised me because I've learned a little bit about British police, and from what I understand, they typically don't carry guns. So this is sort of an unusual situation. Sounds like kind of a high pressure, sort of tense situation between annoying American tourists and an armed British police. So let's take a look, see what happened. Oh, there's a lot of text, actually. Said, armed British police is confronting American tourists for heckling the King's Guard. Why would... I mean, let's just let the video play, but why would you travel all the way to London just to be disrespectful like that? Like, I think a lot of Americans, sadly, treat this as kind of a joke. Like they're going to a whole nother country, another culture. Oh, it's a soldier. It's someone guarding, doing a job for their country. And to go there and like make fun of it, it makes no sense at all. It's so disrespectful. Sherlock? The group kept screaming names, like Sherlock, at the cavalryman as he stood calmly. Like, they're like filming him, but not in a friendly way. They're filming him, shouting names at him, like, what are you doing? They're laughing.
Right, ladies. So these soldiers serve their country, all right? They take their job seriously.
Yeah.
They are responsible for protecting this facility. They are not an object of ridicule.
Yes.
I appreciate you having fun. He's not having fun. He's got a long day. There's a lot of hours he's got to do. It is tiring, exhausting. You take the piss out of him, all right?
I laugh because I think they were understanding maybe his speech there, his very coherent, well-mannered speech, by the way. But this take the piss out on him, most Americans have no idea what that meant. That means like to be rude, to call names, be aggressive, to take the piss out. Is that right? Most Americans wouldn't get that, so that probably totally threw them off, because that is not a phrase in the United States. But besides that, my God, is this security, or it's a police officer? And why is he armed? He has like he has a rifle. He has a gun. I guess there are certain situations when, maybe it's the location they're at or the sensitiveness of the area or whatever. I guess sometimes British police carry a gun. I've never seen that. But this already shows such a big contrast to many ways that American police officers conduct themselves and talk. He is very coherent. He's very polite. He's being very reasonable to, frankly, a group of people who don't necessarily deserve that. Totally different from what a typical American police would be. I think much more aggressive in this situation and maybe escalate it for no good reason. So really, I have a lot of respect for how he's going about this as well.
He's got to do, it is tiring, exhausting, you take the piss out of him, alright? We do not appreciate that. I will ask you to leave the facility, alright?
Okay, and they left. Okay. Yeah, that was... I can't tell how old these people are. I don't want to say that's an excuse, but at the end of the day, it does seem like maybe a group of younger American tourists who are... They're not children, like they should know better, but, you know, I don't claim to have been the smartest, most well-behaved human being even at 20 years old. Even now, I won't claim that. But they certainly should have known better, but like many, I don't know, younger people, they were yelling names at him, just getting close to him, being disrespectful. Things you obviously should know not to do. There's really no excuse, let's be perfectly honest. But when asked to leave, they left. And maybe it helped that this guy looks really intimidating. Well, it's funny, he's so sort of well-spoken and calm, and yet his exterior is very intimidating with his uniform. He obviously has a gun and... Yeah, but he didn't come across as threatening. He came across as very reasonable. So this was kind of cool to see this little interaction. Also, like, embarrassing. I just want to take a look at the beginning again, what they were doing to this poor man whose job is to stand there and, you know, do a job. It's not just to entertain tourists.
I would shoot myself, and it's like harassing. Sherlock.
Oh my god.
Right, ladies.
I mean, they were still shrieking. I don't know what noises they were actually making there, or if those were words. It was kind of shrieking. Even as this armed guard was there talking to the King's Guard. Probably about how they're about to dismiss them. They're just being annoying for no good reason. And again, it's just like, why the disrespect of another culture, essentially? Really? And of a human being doing a job. Like, I know Americans think it's very cute and novel that you know, British King's Guards have this special hat with ornate decorations and this big fancy coat, and some Americans think that that's different than ours and it looks different or silly or really kind of dumb stuff, so they think it's all a joke for some reason. I can't quite understand that, but I'm glad. It was so satisfying to see that armed officer come up and be like, guys, let's stop. Like, what are you doing? He even explained why what they were doing is so disrespectful, which they needed. That was satisfying. We got some more videos here. This is a rude lady that is told to leave by an army officer and an armed police. Is this the rude lady? She is smiling. What does she do that is so rude? There's the... Is that a King's Guard? It's a guard. What is she doing? What are you doing?
Are you putting it in point?
Are you supposed to stand there? She's getting very close to him. Not really saying anything. People are filming her. She's laughing. Why is she getting so... Why is she getting so close to him? I don't think you're supposed to stand over there. Okay. There's the armed police. What is she doing? No unauthorized access. She's clearly standing beyond this sign. There's another soldier there telling her, please stop, you're just antagonizing him for no reason to get a reaction. So she's clearly been causing trouble and trespassing.
way. Like, so you're antagonising the guy.
I'm not shouting. Did Why are people like this? Why? Did she say stop shouting? Because he said, I'm not shouting. And he's not. Once again, these British Army and police are incredibly polite. Like, I have never seen such etiquette and politeness out of police and soldiers in my life. You would never see this in the United States. This level of patience dealing with people who are trolling for no reason gets you worked up a little bit. And this is disrespect to really the UK and your Kingsguard and your soldiers, and it's getting me worked up. I don't know if this woman is American. All I know is she's a tourist, just acting strange, just harassing and trespassing for no reason. Why are people like this?
One's got the horses. If you can't be civil, then just leave. There's no need to be a court disturbance on it. So there is a job.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
telling him he's evil for shouting at kids. We've got you on the camera. We've got you on TikTok, right? But he's doing the job, isn't he? So if you can't be civil, then just leave.
So, I love the British officers, army, police. So reasonable. I love it. Well spoken. Just like, if you can't be civil, please leave. As simple as that. Perfect. I don't know what she's getting on about them yelling at children. I don't really care. Sounds kind of... Maybe they were, there's other videos of Kingsguard marching, and they yell at people to make way for the Kingsguard, and it's part of their procedure, and they're marching, and people need to get out of the way. Maybe that includes children. I don't know what she's so upset about, but it seems silly.
Don't follow me. Just leave the place. It's not hard, is it? Arrest him. That's why I told you to shut up.
Good man. That's it. Well done. Very rude. The guard was right.
Very rude.
Maybe take the guard's
You don't
advice,
shout
no?
at the boys, the new children. You don't shout at
What a
them.
great idea. As the guard just said, why not shut up and move on?
Okay. Now the people are just rising up against her. I don't think she's going to win this argument, but I don't know if she's actually upset they yelled at children. That seems silly. Like, obviously, the Kingsguard and the British police don't have anything against children. They're essentially there to protect the people of the UK, including children. So I don't know if she's just upset over nothing or making something out of nothing, or she just enjoys getting upset and seems to enjoy this hostile back and forth that she's creating. Seems to enjoy creating a hostile environment for no good reason and disrespecting. As far as I can tell, that's just... I only get like 2 minutes to see a clip and pass my judgment upon someone, but I don't know. It's hard to be sympathetic when one side is being so reasonable and the tourists are being completely unreasonable. And finally here, armed police asks rude tourist to leave. Okay. Yeah, this armed British police thing, in every video they've been armed. Again, I don't know why that is. All of this is taking place, I'm not exactly sure where. Is this by like Buckingham Palace, where there are Kingsguard? Sensitive area? Maybe royalty on the premises, important historical place, warrants armed guards. I mean, in America, the guards would all be armed anyway, so this is just normal to me. But in the UK, makes maybe the situation a little more unusual. What's going on here? What are you doing? What is he doing to this horse? Can you... Whoa, man. What are you... What are you do? What are they doing? Can you just walk up and touch their horse? To me, that seems outrageous. Maybe you're allowed to do it? Did he ask if he can do that? He's just rubbing... It's one thing to pet the horse, maybe. He's got a can of beer, which makes sense. He's just rubbing himself against the horse. It's very strange. He seems maybe drunk. Why? At least his friend kind of leads him out of there. He didn't have to be told to leave. Wow, look at these crowds. This does get a little chaotic. What? What are you... They're touching the horse again. Is this all right? The guard isn't yelling at her. I don't know if he's allowed to or not. Maybe you're allowed to touch the horse. To me, that's a little presumptuous. But I don't know. People are just walking up, touching him. I don't know if that's okay. I guess she's being gentle? And there's a lot of people.
Ladies and gents, you need to stand behind the second white line, or you're going to be asked to leave.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, it is a bit chaotic here. Someone's yelling at them to stand behind the white line. Tourists, especially American tourists, do not know the meaning of a queue. So this does not surprise me in the slightest. Okay. Okay, so they're yelling at them to stand in line. Is there anything else here? This is the most viewed moments. Marching. Okay.
Cheers, thank you.
Is there like is something substantial that happens here in this video? Was that the armed guard? He wasn't really asking tourists to leave, from what I can tell. Oh, here's something.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
I don't know. He's saying good afternoon. That's the armed police. Some guy said, "What's happening?" And he said, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon. Not again, like as far as police confrontations go, in London, in Britain, seems extraordinarily tame. On behalf of the police officers, they really keep their cool. That's something big jumping out to me in this video. So I think that's about it. That's enough tourists causing chaos for today. Oh, man. Yeah, that first clip with the group of American girls, I think, that was probably one of the more egregious, how they were yelling names and laughing at the guard like he's not a person. The second clip, that woman just antagonizing the guard and the police for no reason. And in this one, people needing to get in line, not rub themselves against the horses. Tourists and people are just so strange. And it seems like this is a common occurrence in London. I can only imagine the patience and the willpower that the British Kingsguard, police, army having to deal with this all the time. God, I have a lot of respect for it. But this was pretty interesting to see, and see how the British police actually behaved. That was really impressive to me. So I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on annoying American tourists, trolling guards, and British police responding to it, and your take on all these situations. That'd be interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and learning about British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.